Hey guys, Chris here. I appreciate you watching this week's vlog. I recorded this episode earlier in the week, obviously before the horrible things that happened yesterday in Connecticut. Not gonna kind of go into too much on it. You know, I'm sure the media's done enough of that, and it's annoying as hell. But I just want to say that horrible thing that happened, and this world's a pretty messed up place, but there are good people out there. I feel there are far more good people out there than bad, and unfortunately the bad people seem to ruin the world for the rest of us. But being a dad, a new dad, almost 11 months in, it does hit you a little harder, I think, and made me go home and kind of want to see my son Ricky and just look at him and say I couldn't imagine what those parents and families are going through, and thoughts are with them. It's horrible event, but just want to say I hope they stay strong and pull through and know that the world is there to support them the best everybody can. But just wanted to kind of say that before the normal blog that will come up here in just a minute. But again, thanks for watching this week, but there's more important things that are happening, and if you're going to put attention towards anything, do it towards that in any way you can. Cool. Stay on to watch. Thanks. Enjoy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chris here, Soapbox Sunday, episode 4. Feeling wide awake, feeling good. I haven't even had coffee today, which I can't say I wouldn't say I'm a legitimate coffee drinker. I don't like straight up coffee. We have one of those Keurig K-cup coffee makers, but I still can't drink hardly any of those without dousing it in some kind of creamer, French vanilla flavoring. So I wouldn't say I liked coffee. I think I like creamer. So I'm a creamer drinker, which sounds awesome in every sense of the phrase. Sorry though, but I'm feeling good, feeling awake. I still don't have a cool, awesome name for Soapbox Sunday. We're just gonna run with it until I decide on something. But I noticed I'm kind of trying to think when I've posted a weekly blog challenge, written blog, and when I do a video blog, and making sure that I cover each blog for the week, which is kind of fun. And I actually kind of get like anxiety if it's like Saturday night and I've forgotten to do it. But that's only happened once, and I didn't get to do it until the next morning. But anyway, so this week, I know I've been kind of ranting and whatever last few weeks. This week is an excited video blog, because I had to say there's two things that the 90s did better than anybody ever. And this personally, I grew up in the 90s and biased, deal with it. First off, music. I think the 90s had the best music of any generation. Again, biased, you know, whatever. But you can't go wrong with a little Third Eye Blind, you know, some Wallflowers. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, so you have music, which was awesome, but you also had family television. I know the late 80s into the 90s kind of segued into that, but the reason I say 90s is because more specifically the TGIF kind of time slot happened on Fridays. I think it was on ABC. You had a few family-oriented sitcoms, Step by Step, Full House. There's a couple that hit here and there, had more of the Olsen twins, and you know, Sabrina the Teenage Witch I think was on there. But my favorite, which I don't know if it started out on TGIF or started out just kind of in an afternoon show and then went to TGIF later on, but was Boy Meets World, which is one of my favorite shows probably of all time. And I remember sitting up at college a little while back. I didn't have cable in my apartment, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to watch Boy Meets World from episode 1 all the way to the finale. It's pretty awesome, and I feel like, you know, me, Corey, Topanga, Sean, Eric, Mr. Feeney, you know, we all have kind of a close-knit bond after that. But one of my favorite shows of all time, and I was excited to hear, a little worried, but excited to hear that they're bringing the show back, being reincarnated in the form of Girl Meets World. And I guess the synopsis is it takes place, I guess, 10 years after the finale. Corey and Topanga, you know, going on with their careers. They have a daughter now who's probably about the same age as Corey when the show started. So say 12, 13. I don't know how old he officially was. But I guess then they're going to kind of follow her through her, you know, her stages of middle school and into high school and probably college, and then 20 years down the road they're going to make a new show with her and her husband. But what's awesome is that they have Corey and Topanga signed on to do the show, to shoot the pilot at least. I don't know when it's going to air. I don't think they've actually officially done anything, you know, production-wise, but they're getting it ready. It's probably going to air on Disney, I guess, because they own the rights to it. But it was such an awesome show, and when it started out, I don't think it was expected to go as long as it did. And it started out as kind of this whimsical, you know, you followed Corey Matthews, and, you know, you have the music, kind of playful music in the background, all this kind of stuff, and it was very kind of kid-oriented. And it definitely matured into, you know, it covering mature themes, whether it's, you know, alcohol or, you know, somebody's dad dying, or I guess cults, all this stuff, you know. It was stuff that it definitely kind of strayed away from what it was when it started, and it grew into something more serious. Still incredibly funny, and it didn't get so serious where like, oh, this kind of bums me out. It was always enjoyable, and they had a cast of characters that just meshed well. You know, Corey and Sean as the two best friends was just awesome. Topanga, who went from like some space hippie, all about Mother Nature type thing to all of a sudden over summer was cool and normal. And then that kind of started the relationship between Corey and Topanga. It was just an awesome show, and I'm excited that it's coming back. I'm worried that it's not going to be as good because obviously, like a lot of nostalgic things, you go back and you kind of try and reinvent that that feeling. And Tippin, one of my best friends, wrote a blog kind of about how you can't really recreate or I guess play in those moments, and he's totally right, because, you know, if you went back and I think I was trying to play some old games that we had, it's like, oh, Dreamcast's gonna be awesome, can't wait, and I went and sat down and played, and I played each game for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I was like, it's not as fun as it used to be. So I don't know if they're gonna really grab that that feeling that they had with the original Boy Meets World, especially if they don't have a whole lot of the cast involved. You know, obviously they had Corey and Topanga, but I feel like if they don't have Eric, Sean, Mr. Feeney, even though he's about 400 years old, you know, there's those characters that made that show, and it's going to be hard to kind of reinvent a new cast of characters around Corey and Topanga. Maybe they'll do a good job with it, but, you know, you are kind of skeptical that, you know, it's not going to touch what it was. And again, it was a different, you know, generation, I guess, than what it is now. But with that said, that could make for some interesting storylines with, you know, how much the world has changed since then, and internet and social media and just cell phones, technology, everything. It's a whole different world than what it was in the 90s, just like the 90s was a whole different world than it was in the 80s. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach that. But regardless, I'm pretty excited because Boy Meets World is probably one of my favorite shows, and there were some jokes going around my dorms that you know, I had some pleasurable moments just because of the beautiful moments that were Boy Meets World. Nothing sexual about it, just some good storylines, and you know, there's jokes that was my Playboy. That was nice. So I don't know when the pilot's gonna air. I don't know when, you know, production is gonna take off, but it's cool that those two are on board, and it'll be interesting to see how they approach it. But yeah, if you're a fan of Boy Meets World, which anybody who grew up in the 90s, you probably are, just a good show. Even when it comes on reruns, I'll watch them just because it's a blast. So make sure to kind of keep an eye out for that. If you've never watched Boy Meets World, go back and watch it because it's amazing. Amazing. One of the best shows of the 90s, in my opinion. And I think one of the best kind of family sitcoms of all time. Going too far there, maybe. But anyway, check it out. Keep an eye out for it because it's going to be hopefully awesome. And I just hope they kind of get some of the old cast members in there as well. But it'll be good stuff. So that's it for this week. As always, subscribe, tweet, tout, like, and then block me because I've just found some pretty awesome photos of myself that I'm going to start posting. And it involves some grease, some feathers, and maybe a Ninja Turtle outfit. But, you know, we'll see. But I appreciate you watching. You don't have to do any of those things, really. I don't care. If you watch it and you enjoy it, awesome. You don't have to like it or anything to say you do. Just appreciate you watching. Next week, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to try and start, get the brain moving and see what I can figure out. But I'm having fun doing it, and maybe next week I'll have a new title for it, but maybe I'll just stick with Soapbox Sunday and just do it every Sunday. You can just deal with it! Anyway, have an awesome day and an awesome week. And remember that Christmas is almost here and I haven't done any shopping. So long!